What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am back like I never left, and we are just 1 minute away from Monday Night Raw. Kind of cut it close this week. Sorry, I usually try to come up 5 to 10 minutes before, but it was a little bit scrambly getting the stream ready, so we are ready to rock now. The New Day is going to speak tonight after their big turn last week, turning on Big E and turning heel as a team and staying together. Also, we saw Drew McIntyre return at the end of last night's show, or last week's show, so we should hear from him tonight as well, and see if his motivations are going to extend beyond attacking Sami Zayn, and what Drew has planned for his return now that he is back. And also, we might get some news on this WWE transfer window stuff. We might see some names moving around tonight, or if it's just more teases, maybe some SmackDown people over here to talk to Adam Pearce, the way Raw people were on SmackDown on Friday talking to Nick Aldis. So we will see if we get any of that tonight, but should be a good show, I guess. I thought about coming up and doing a review instead, but we just did a big podcast on Saturday, and I wasn't sure how much wrestling news we would really have to get into other than the AEW All-In stuff that they did today. A little bit of an update on Rey Fenix and stuff, but nothing crazy. So figured we'd just come up, casual hangout, watch Raw together, and then call it a night. We got the Monday night game on as well. Cowboys and Bengals. I did see Sean Rossap, Denise, a bunch of people are down there in Dallas for the AEW stuff, and I think at least Sean is catching the game, so that sounds fun. And now we have got Then, Now, Forever starting here on Monday Night Raw. Let's see who opens the show. I'm curious. Probably Drew. Probably Drew. Although it could be New Day. Oh, they're in Wichita. I've never been to Wichita. Never been to Kansas. Seems very flat. Look at Seth. All right, well, so much for him kind of starting to dress a little bit normal. You know, it's so embarrassing. I'm so glad I didn't. I almost wore the same thing Seth is wearing for the stream tonight. And I'm really glad I didn't do that, because that would have been embarrassing. You know, he and I, wearing the same thing. Whew, crisis averted. Maybe next time I'll text Seth and ask him what he's wearing. That way I don't accidentally wear the same thing. Dom, Dirty Dom with the San Diego hat. I like it. What are they eating? Fries out of that cup? And look at these two. Nobody wants to give them any love. I love it. I hope y'all stepped on Legos all week, barefoot. I hope you whacked your shin on every piece of furniture in your house. I hope you took a humongous, wet, sloppy monster shit and you had no toilet paper left. I hope when you squeeze the ketchup out of this ketchup bottle, it's just that watery substance that comes out, not real ketchup. I hope all that happened to him this week. Especially the no toilet paper thing. I have never heard of Cooper Rush. Whoever that fucker is playing for Dallas. And here comes Gunther. Just wearing jeans and a sweatshirt. This is exactly how I used to dress in 1995. That's interesting. I loved a good pair of blue jeans. Some tennies and like just a long sleeve sweatshirt like that. You'd see me in that all the time. Not so much now. Look at Gunther in the jeans. It just doesn't look right. I guess he's in Kansas. That's really funny. I liked that match last week. Coup de grasses. I got to do some shout outs here in a second. Let me get the chat pulled up here so I can see all y'all. Welcome, as always, to the Raw Watch Along tonight. Thank you for being here. Good to see Zane G, Jay Lambo, Tatanani, Colin Wright, Andy Linnell, Nick Musser, Ricky Salvador, Isaac, William Cullen, Max Pokebra, Joshua Aparicio. We've got Sonic Plays, David Brown, my boy, K-Dog's Kennel. What's up, Kevin? What's up, everybody? Back home from an amazing weekend at church, a benefit called Toys for Tots. Oh, yeah, I know that. Where we received a lot of donated toys for Children's Hospital to give to them at Christmas. That's awesome. I have donated to Toys for Tots myself in the past. That's really awesome. We've got Daniel Berry Sports, Juliet, Ryan Adams, Lou Thompson, Killicam, Michael Kumo, Jake, the original tribal chief. Everybody in the house, what up? Why are we, Natty, what are we looking at, Natty, or I'm sorry, Ryan, why are we looking at Natty? Was she in the background or something?
He now has my undivided attention. And I guarantee right now that Saturday night's main event will not end up like Survivor Series.
How is this going to, now here comes Balor. Now, how is this going to work if Balor, you know, we've heard the reports this week, we talked about it on Saturday, if he's in line for a big mega push in 2025, what's he going to do? Just come out here and just lose to Gunther before that push starts? I think Finn and JD need to drop these tag belts because you kind of forgot these belts exist since they won them. And I would put them back on the New Day.
You know, Gunther, you could have given me the title match like I deserve. But instead, you wanted to mess with me and give it to someone who didn't deserve it. Like Dirty Dom.
We've got a 5-person segment here, and I don't think any of these men are American. Maybe Dom. Dom was born here.
Well, let's be real. I am the only reason.
Probably born right down the road from me.
Right now. And I just heard what you said. And you're right on one thing. That Saturday night's main event is going to be nothing like Survivor Series. Because at Survivor Series, you retained the title because of me. And at Saturday night's main event, you lose the title because of me.
We will be here, by the way, this Saturday, watching Saturday night's main event together. We're going to do a doubleheader. We're going to do the watch along. They're going to switch over to a different stream and do a podcast. Big Saturday night, so join us.
As the new world heavyweight champion. Let me set one thing straight right away. You did not earn that title match on Saturday.
You did not earn that.
Your audacity of claiming any responsibility of me being the world heavyweight champion is what earned you the title match on Saturday. But I get it.
King Asa, a 2-hour show. What are you talking about? I agree that Cody probably won't lose, but it's not going to be because it's a 2-hour show. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Y'all got to stop overthinking stuff.
I respected you.
It's national TV. It's NBC. Andre the Giant, King Asa, Andre the Giant beat Hulk Hogan, who had held the title for 4 years in a 1-hour show with commercials. 2 matches is all we got. And Hogan lost the belt. So if Hogan can lose, Cody can lose.
You chose to hang out with a bunch of weirdos in the clubhouse.
Hey, I like the clubhouse. I like everybody except JD because his head's too big. I like how they're all like, don't say that. What are you guys going to do about it? Gunther's in jeans. He can kick anybody's ass when he's wearing jeans.
Figuratively and literally looking down on you. Eight years ago, you were the best in the world.
8 years ago, he was. For one night. Him and Owens both. Is WWE going to finally pay those 2 guys back, Owens and Balor, this year? Are they going to get both of them get back to the world title? I would not rule it out. None of y'all should be ruling anything out. Except for Gunther growing a set of antlers. You can rule that out. That won't happen. But anything else could happen.
You are not on my level. And you never will be.
Never will be, Finn. Sorry. Oh, I missed Natalya in her red bodysuit. Didn't even see it. I must have been not paying attention. And here comes Priest. He's just going to sprint? Okay. Oh my God. Took out Carlito and JD. Now Dom's going to eat some steel. Or some barricade, anyway. I kind of like, I'm wondering if Priest and Gunther are going to have some mutual respect for each other after this. Looks like they're going to double team Balor here. I like them kind of working together. Oh, never mind. I'm like, hey, I like these guys working together. That's so sweet. And now Gunther just lays out Priest. Never mind. Here I thought we were having a bromance starting to blossom. But my hopes were dashed. I want to see these two guys hit the club together. Hitting on the ladies. Yo, man, we used to be fat. Look at us now. We're sexy studs. Both champions. All right, so we are 10 minutes into the show. Announce table is about to be... No, maybe not. Sling Blade. That was good. Finn came in with a sling blade off the powerbomb attempt. And a kick into the steps. Gunther, you shouldn't have attacked Priest. He was there to help you, man. Nice. Kick to Carlito. Dom. Unfortunately, Dom, sexy hair and a gorgeous mustache can't win you fights. So. Oh, Sling Blade. Oh, no, not Sling Blade. Now, let's see. Is Gunther going to come in and save Priest after he just attacked him? I say it every week, but Finn Balor's logo looks like the WCW logo to me. That new one, that shitty one they did, like, in '99. Until they shut down. One more. Give him one more. All right. Well, yeah, I would think the Priest is probably definitely going to have something to do in the SNME finish now. Could Tiffany cash in on Gunther to win the world title? Yes, she could. If she so chooses. Gunther better hope that doesn't happen, because if Tiffany comes out to cash in on him, she's going to whoop his ass. He won't even stand a chance. Prettiest moonsault for the win. Gunther would be lucky to even get a shot in. How many times in history has the challenger on the go-home show beaten down the champion and held up the belt? How many times have they then gone into their match and won the belt? I actually think it has happened once in the last year or two, but I think only once. All right, we got the New Testament, or Final Testament, whatever, on the way to the ring with the Miz. Yeah, make Ludwig. Ludwig could be a part of that. Maybe he comes in, bashes Gunther in the head with a chair, and then Tiffany gives him the moonsault for the win. New World Heavyweight Champion, Tiffany. I mean, Tiffany could technically be the the U.S. champion. She did win on Friday. She'll be in the semis, I guess, maybe against Michin. I forgot. So it'll be Tiffany. So if she wins the U.S. title, she could cash in and win the world, and then she's double champ. Nick, you want KO to win because Cody isn't doing anything for you? Cody's doing plenty for me, but I just still think a title switch would be cool. I like Cody, but I don't want him to run into problems with the fans, especially if he holds the title into WrestleMania, then retains it at WrestleMania, then keeps going. You know, fans are fans, and they're as predictable as gravity. So, you know, the minute somebody starts holding the title too long or something, they start making shit up in their head and believing it and just run with it. It's code written into their DNA. So I don't want to see that for Cody. I think it would be fun if he just lost it now and then he can win it back in 2025 sometime. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I would think the Triple H and WWE would like Cody to be a multi-time world champion. So in order to do that, you got to lose a belt. And I can't think of a better person to put it on after Kevin Owens has not been champion in 8 years. Make some history on Saturday night's main event with Jesse Ventura on the call and do something that you literally have not done since 1988. And yet every time I bring this up, good mic work, you're crazy. I'm like, am I though? Like, why would this be crazy? Why in your head do you think that's crazy? That's what I don't understand. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm probably still wrong, but the fact that fans think it's crazy and not a good idea, what are you smoking? What are you talking about? It's a great idea. How was Con Man on a fucking commercial? Get me on there. Shout out to Con Man. Nice guy. Like, why are fans allergic to fun? Like, WWE, it's a 2-hour show. They're never going to have Cody drop the belt on a 2-hour show. I'm like, what? Where do you get these ideas from, you know? I read a report on the internet that WWE is very happy with him, so they're not going to take the belt off of him. They can still take the belt off of him if they're very happy with him. WWE was very happy with Stone Cold Steve Austin after WrestleMania 14, and what happened? Dropped the belt at King of the Ring. So, chill out. Max, it is a great idea. It's a fucking tremendous idea. I think people would love it. I think you'd have a hell of a lot more people praising that idea if WWE did that than complaining about it. I think you're going to have more people complaining if Cody wins. I'm like, Jesus, are you guys ever going to put the belt on KO? I see more positive in Kevin Owens winning on NBC. That's the kicker there because of what happened back in 1988. If they can, you know, redo something like that, although it's going to be 30 million less people watching, they'll probably do 2 million people for Saturday night's main event because they only did about 2 million on Fox every week. So they're going to do 2 million as opposed to 33 million, but still it's NBC, network TV, Saturday night's main event, the rebirth. And it sounds like they're doing it right this time, you know, old school Jesse. I'm hoping they have the pre-match interviews with the silver, you know, curtain and all that and the intro. I can't think of a better place to switch up your belt. It is a tremendous idea, Max. It's the greatest idea in the history of the fucking world. And you need to accept that. In case I didn't mention it, it's a great idea. I don't die on many hills, but I'll fucking die on that one. It's a great idea. Hey, Wichita's got a pretty nice little arena there. I don't know what there is to do in Wichita. Wow, it's pretty. What's the city in the background there? Oh no, that's Long Island. I'm thinking there's outdoors of the Wichita. I'm like, there's a city in the background. There's no city in Kansas. It's New York. That's why.
As a result of that conversation, and as a result of all the actions, the World Heavyweight Championship match at Saturday night's main event has officially changed
to a triple threat.
It'll be Finn Balor versus Gunther.
Versus
Damian Priest.
All right, so it's going to be a triple threat now. I actually like that better. Balor's title shot by himself wasn't making much sense to me. This is better. Now Balor can lose and keep his 2025 push intact.
When not only I beat Gunther, but Damian, I become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Speaking of champion, you're so concerned with the conduct of the other champions on Raw. I'm going to give you an opportunity also to lead by example. Next week here on Monday Night Raw, you and JD are going to face the War Raiders again, and you're going to put those World Tag Team titles on the line.
Okay, good.
The best part, Judgment Day. The best part, you're all banned from ringside.
War Raiders should win the titles because a babyface team needs to be tag team champions so the New Day can beat them. You know? Balor's got a lot on his mind, Liv.
You know what, sis? You're gonna have to give me a couple minutes, all right? Let me get back to you on that. All right?
I'm excited. We're excited. Yeah, you forget.
What's weird about the triple threat, it's like Balor was upset, but because I mean, I guess the belief is, well, if it's one-on-one, I have a 50% chance of winning. Finn Balor does not have a 50% chance of beating Gunther. He has like a 20% chance, 15%. So if it's a triple threat, in a weird way, somebody like Balor, if you're challenging Gunther, and then the match is made into a triple threat, in a weird way, your chances actually go up. I would think Balor's got a better chance of catching a quick pin on someone in a triple threat than just straight up beating Gunther one-on-one. So even though percentage-wise his chances might go down, I actually think they go up. I think a triple threat is good for Balor's chances, even though Balor's not going to win. But I was wondering how we were hearing these reports of Balor in line for a big push in 2025 and all this shit. I'm like, well, how are you going to do that if he just gets annihilated by Gunther on Saturday Night's Main Event? So triple threat makes it to where you can book the match in a way to where everybody can probably be protected somewhat. I like that the Miz is in black and white, all that colorful, loud gear he's got. And you can't even see it. You can't even see the vibrantness that is Miz. I'm actually a fan of situations like this. You guys can think of other ones in your head and drop them in the chat if you can remember. But like an oddball member of a faction, you know, Sammy in the Bloodline, you know, even like Pillman in the Hart Foundation a little bit, or anybody that they just kind of let hang around them or just does not fit. I usually like those odd pairings. Who's this guy? Is that the guy that shot the CEO? Oh, he's a professional bull rider. Is PBR sponsored by PBR? Because they should be. 5'6", 135. He's just a little guy. He's a little tiny, little cute little bull rider. Pick him up. Put him in your pocket. All right. So this is Wyatt Six against these guys? Is that what's happening here? I mean, they're all in their gear. They look ready to fight. I haven't seen the Wyatt Six like out in the ring in a while. Feels like. Oh, this is one of those two here. The Wyatts are coming. This is what you have to do. Your phones are out, right? Get them out. Mike, get them out. Okay, that's enough of that. Are they all? Is it going to be like Dallas and Loomis and all of them? Here they come. Those vignettes with Bo Dallas. That was just wild. I just cannot get over how... I mean, they're brothers, but you didn't really truly see the full resemblance. They always looked a little bit alike, but it was uncanny last week or whenever they were showing those videos.
testament over the past couple of months, thanks to their career histories of using and manipulating others for their own gain.
Oh, are they, Juliet? PBR is owned by WWE's parent company. Professional bull riding. I don't know if that's something I could ever get into. I got no desire to ride a bull or watch anybody ride a bull. I don't even like watching people ride the mechanical bulls in bars. I just think somebody's going to die or smash their face on the thing. So this is an 8-man tag, but Miz has saved Cross from... All right, this is going to be a commercial break, you can tell. Oh, you haven't been on the chat. I think I do owe you guys a couple super chats. I'll get to them. 1 second. I don't see them all as they come through immediately because I got 9 other windows open here, so... Give me a break, man. Give me a break, man. There we go. Let's get back to what we're doing here. All right. Who do I owe super chat shout-outs to? Colin. Right. What's up? Coco Anarchy. Good to see you as always. Thanks for the $5. Hey, Greg, any chance of a review of Collision in Korea next year being the 30th anniversary? It's a shit pay-per-view, but historical event. Yeah, I guess I could review that. It's the 30th anniversary, huh? Yeah, shit, 95. Holy crap. I should, because next year's also the 30th anniversary of me graduating high school, which is just wild. My 20th reunion feels like 2 years ago, and here it's 30 already. I'll think about that one, man. I don't even think I've seen that show straight through. It's available, right? We can find. Actually, I have it. I've got it on my hard drive somewhere. At least I think I do. I should. Yeah, I think I've only seen bits of that, to be honest. So yeah, we can definitely do that. Julie, how many 2-hour Raws in the Attitude Era we see world title changes? A bunch, and I was at a couple of them. I saw Austin win the title on Raw. I guess that's it on Raw. Yeah, I saw some title changes on pay-per-views, but I guess just one on Raw. But yeah, it used to happen on Raw all the time. Austin won the title twice on Raw within, what, a month? Or no, a year. Summer of 98, summer of 99, he won the title on Raw. And I was there for the Undertaker match in Charlotte in 99. Michael Cuomo, thanks for the $5. Also, I hope Saturday night's main event is red, white, and blue ropes. Yeah, metal guardrails and refs wearing the button shirts with the bow ties. Yes and no. Like, I want it to be a callback to the past, but I don't necessarily need it to be like an old school Raw to where everybody's wearing the old shit. I think you can combine them. You give me the Animotion and the Jim Johnson Saturday night's main event theme. You give us the beginning green screen promos with the logo and the music, you know, at the beginning of the show, when they all run through their matches. And then the pre-match stuff before each match with, obviously, Mean Gene is no longer with us, but Lillian Garcia or whoever else behind either the silver or the red sparkly curtain, pre-match stuff, Jesse on commentary. But I'm cool if they, like, have a Tron and all of that. I don't care about that. But red, white, and blue ropes, yes. I don't know if I need metal guardrails or the refs wearing the bow ties. I still want this to be, I don't want this to be you know, like an attraction show, like a one-night thing or something. I want this to be the vibe of how it looks. And I think it needs to be a mix between going full old school and just incorporating elements of the old look into a modern, fresh look. That's what I would prefer. And I think with the logo, Jesse, the music, and a couple of other things they're going to do, I will be satisfied. But the red, white, and blue ropes would be awesome. Yeah, and Steiner math helps Finn in a triple threat. Okay, so after this 8-man tag, we're going to get Jackie Redmond sitting down with CM Punk. Hornswoggle and DX, there you go.
Wyatt Six, it has been one-way traffic, and the Miz and the Final Testament are now completely isolated and decimated. Poor Joe Gacy. Keep in mind how everything started for us to reach this point. An opportunity for Gacy
Jesse said there's no ramp and old school style. Well, that's fine. I'm fine with no ramp because there's no ramp here. There's no ramp on Raw right now. They're just coming out on the floor. So no ramp is fine. I don't care about that. But if they want to do the LED bullshit all over the place, I'm really fine with that. I'm happy enough and satisfied enough that WWE is caring to make Saturday night's main event a thing. Because when they try to relaunch it, what, like 08 or whatever that year was, and they did a couple of them, I just wasn't a fan. Didn't feel like their hearts were into it, you know? And it does this time. Shout out to Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan looks like he has, dropped a little bit of weight. He's still huge, but I might take that back. He might be slightly slimmer than what he was when he came in, or his AEW appearance.
Multiple-time tag team champion in this game is Eric Rowan, and Miz trying to hightail it, but it's simply too late. You cannot run now.
I'm glad that Rowan is a part of this group, though. I mean, he lost Brody and Wyatt, and rough. Wow, AOP just lifted and smashed Eric Rowan. You know, I don't watch a ton of NXT because I just don't like the product. So I didn't get a ton of looks at Joe Gacy. I saw like one or two of his matches, but I haven't really gotten like a really like solid look at how he is in the ring as a performer. I know he's good. Uncle Howdy in the house, in the housey. He's got an Undertaker fall of 1995 face mask on, Uncle Howdy. Reminds me a lot of that.
He says, how am I the bad guy? I was the victim held hostage and now trying to run away from it all again. He's just in survival mode, even teaming up with Final Testament. Big elbow eaten by Cross. Howdy with a twisted mind, but the heart of gold, laying waste to anything in his path.
I mean, I thought Bo Dallas was retired and managing a Cold Stone Creamery. Damn, Scarlett, I didn't get a look at her outfit till just now. Holy crap. Who's it? Oh, God. Oh, my God. That's awesome. Nikki Cross. Imagine having to go to work every day and be like, you got to make me into a corpse. There's some crazy cultures, I don't know, like overseas and stuff. They dig up their relatives and like dress them and like stand them up and take pictures of them and stuff, like these corpses and shit. That looks like Nikki Cross. Oh, Ellering. He wasn't out there, was he? Maybe he was. Has he been out there the whole time? Oh, we're not going to pin Uncle Howdy. Yes, we are. Holy shit. Powder to the face is all that did Uncle Howdy in? Good to see Ellering out there, though. Old man. Still doing it. Ew, what is that stuff?
His return, lines Uncle Howdy, and the final prayer
Look at the Miz. I love it. Miz has got that shit all over him. I'm curious what they really use for powder. Is it flour or baby powder? It's probably flour, because baby powder you would smell.
You know what I'm going to ask you, though, right?
If you ask me about the Black Box, we're gonna fight.
No, I'm going to ask you about something much more relevant. This fake.
I love that.
Can you tell us anything about it?
No.
Punk goes, if you're going to ask me about the Blackhawks, we're going to fight. And she goes, no, I'm going to ask you about something much more relevant.
Me and Paul go back
It's awesome.
many years, so it's between me and Paul.
All right, fair enough. If we can't talk about the favor, let's talk about Seth Rollins. I mean, you said last week you don't think about him at all, but he's made it pretty clear.
Have you ever seen the movie Me, Myself, and Irene?
Willing to force the issue.
The scene where Jim Carrey gets mad at the dude flicking the cigarette and he comes in trying to punch him, that's what CM Punk's punches last week reminded me of.
I'll start swinging, but when it comes to Seth's hatred of me, I'm more confused than anything because I don't hate Seth at all. I mean, I think to understand, you have to talk about the history between myself and Seth Rollins, and it goes back quite a bit. You're talking about the 16-year-old Seth Rollins came to CM Punk and asked him to train him to be a professional wrestler for free. That's the key part of that story that everyone always leaves out. Now, that entitlement, I think, has carried over into the adult Seth Rollins, who wants to be the best in the world.
Joshua, Nikki Cross is looking fine to you in that getup? I think you might have a Katie Vick fetish.
He was on the top 10 list of people to be fired from this place, and I shielded him from that.
I shielded him from that. That's interesting.
Shadow, I hate me too. Seth Rollins is extremely talented, multiple-time champion, Money in the Bank winner. Everything he did, I've done better, and I did it before he got here. Now, I don't claim to do those things because I wanted to thank you. I recognize that that 16-year-old kid had all the potential in the world. And in my absence from this company, Seth did a fantastic job of filling that vacuum. But simply put, the starter's back.
The starter's back.
Got to sit back down on the bench.
Oh, well, listen.
Seth Rollins is second string, according to Punk.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Back down on the bench. And he talked about how Rollins was in the top 10 people to get fired and Punk shielded him. I like that. Because he did shield him. The whole Shield faction was designed to be a shield for CM Punk, and then they just dropped it or whatever. So when are we getting that match, y'all? Is that Raw on Netflix? Is that Royal Rumble? Or is it WrestleMania, Rollins and Punk? Because if they're already doing sit-down interviews in this feud, it feels like if it's for WrestleMania, both guys are going to have to do other shit before they get to each other at WrestleMania. So I don't know. I don't know if this is the Mania program. If what they're setting up here is a Seth and Punk Mania program. Because Cody and Roman are already penciled in for other shit. I would love for Owens to beat Cody for the title and for Owens to face Sami Zayn at WrestleMania and for Sami Zayn to beat him. How amazing would that be? That would suck. No, it wouldn't. It would be awesome. Cool people would like it. All right, it's that time of year with a Hershey Christmas commercial, Hershey Kiss Christmas commercial, and that Corona. I haven't seen the Corona one this year. You know, with the palm tree lights up. It's like 25 years old. Is it finally gone? It's one of the oldest running commercials in existence. Rollins and Punk on Velocity. That would be great. That's definitely where that match belongs. Velocity.
I've been worn by celebrities, athletes, and world leaders. But I've always felt most comfortable up here with the folks that made me who I am. I'm right at home out here on the land. And I'm in my lane.
She wrote me a John Deere letter.
Because this is where I come from. I've been
My grandpa had John Deere tractor and some equipment in his shed when I was a little kid, and he would always, Whenever he'd mow, he had like an acre of property, so whenever he'd mow the lawn, I was probably like 4. Yeah, I would just always sit on his lap and he'd drive me around the thing. I had a little John Deere toy tractor.
If you have heart disease and struggle with LDL-C, even with statins and diet, listen to your heart. Talk to your doctor about Repatha.
Repatha plus a statin lowers LDL-C by 63%. Do not take Repatha if you're allergic to it. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or eyes.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Dean, is that I don't know if we just want to automatically pencil in Punk and Seth for Mania because there's this favor. And Punk made it pretty clear when he hinted about the favor, I think in the ring last week or whatever it was, that he wants to main event WrestleMania. And if The Rock truly is not going to be involved this year, and he's going to have nothing to do with this WrestleMania, then I really truly feel like this year is Punk's best chance really ever. I can't believe he even has another chance. I thought that window was closed. I thought that ship had sailed, and that Punk was never going to get anywhere close to a WrestleMania match, much less a main event. And the fact that there is a very likely chance that he will get the final match in one of those 2 nights at WrestleMania in 2024 is wild. So that's why I'm not willing just to pencil in Seth and Punk either, unless it's for the championship. So if Rollins or Punk is able to win the championship ahead of WrestleMania, then you do it. So, and like Punk said, he might have his own story to tell or story to finish. So the story might be better for Punk to get the title shot and win the title as opposed to winning it and dropping it. But maybe that's a compromise. WWE's going to be like, okay, Punk, we're going to give you your WrestleMania main event, but you're going to lose. I mean, is that fine with Punk? Fine. I just need the match. I don't care. I would not care. If I'm main eventing WrestleMania, I probably professionally might want to win, but I'm not going to be like, feel like I'm being treated unfairly if I lose. I'm in the main event of WrestleMania, you know? That's a finite list of people who have done that. So, extremely finite. But that might just be WWE's way of just standing on their own principles, too. Like all right, we're going to give you the WrestleMania, but we're not going to give you the big moment. You're going to go in as champion and drop it. But you're going to do it in the main event. And, you know, that would make sense, too, because Rollins is owed a lot. Rollins, I think, Cody owes him, the whole WWE owes him for all the work he put in last year and for him putting over Cody Rhodes 3 times. And I always said that the next time these 2 guys get in the ring together, that Rollins needs to beat Cody. I mean, Rollins could be the one to beat Cody, you know, but I want it to be Owens. Eyeball into the corner. That's 2 weeks in a row now. That corner of the announce table has come into play. Flo, how are you still around? How old is Flo these days? What's up, Dakota? Joe Tessitore, I agree. He goes, Dakota Kai, she's been looking very good since returning from injury. I agree. Oh, she's from New Zealand, not Australia. I thought she was from Australia. She's very happy and babyfacey again. That's crazy that we're getting a lot of women's matches tonight. I'd say over half the show is women's wrestling tonight. And on Saturday, it's 50-50. You got 2 women's title matches and 2 men's title matches. If I had to guess, it'll be Bayley beating Tiffany in the finals for the title. And then I would have oh yeah, that's what I would do. I would have Nia Jax come out and run out. Well, no, then you never mind. So are they going to do the same thing this week that they've done literally the last, I don't know, 19 weeks in a row? To where Ripley's music is going to hit and she's just going to run out there and storm the ring and chase everybody off and beat people up and that's it? I feel like there's going to be a bunch of run-ins here. Io Sky's going to run in. Ripley's going to run in. Ryan, I don't know if I want a triple threat. I think there's, with all of these personalities, because remember last year we had got that great Cody and Punk promo in the ring on Raw too, and we were like, man, I want that to be the WrestleMania match. I think all of these matches are so interesting that I think triple threat matches are done when you don't really have issues between people and you just make it for a title and throw them all in there. You could do a triple threat, but I would just kind of want, well, maybe not. There's personalities in there together. I'm sure would be fun, but I kind of want those matches individually.
It was a very busy time in WWE. We've got Saturday Night Main Event returning, of course, January 6th. It'll be Raw on Netflix right outside onto the floor.
But where we stand right now, I'm having a hard time believing that it's going to be Rollins and Punk at WrestleMania. The only way, I'll say this, the only way it's going to be Rollins and Punk at WrestleMania is if title is on the line. Because just Rollins and Punk at Mania, I mean, that's a lot of build, man. These guys are going to have to fuck each other out of Rumble opportunities and Chamber opportunities and all that. You know, maybe Punk screws Seth in the Rumble. Seth screws Punk in the Chamber. Neither guy comes out of it with a title shot, and then they have a grudge match at Mania. Yeah, fine, but a title on the line would be much more fun. So I think that's the only way that match realistically happens at WrestleMania from where we sit right now. But that means Rollins or Punk is going to have to beat Gunther, and that would be a pretty short run for Gunther. So I don't know.
When you've got a great tasting zero sugar juice drink like Minute Maid Zero Sugar, you don't even have to have a great ad. Instead, all our time and effort goes into making this pink lemonade that tastes super.
Yeah, I mean, John Cena's coming back here in just a couple weeks to have his retirement year. Randy Orton is probably going to get involved in Saturday night's main event. And possibly cost Kevin Owens the match, or maybe swerve us and cost Cody. You never know. I pitched that idea. Because remember when Triple H ran out in the Universal title match the night after SummerSlam in 2016? And everybody was just like, fuck, he's going to help Rollins win. And then when he pedigreed him, it was like, holy shit. So Randy, they might be doing the same thing. They set up that pile driver spot to make the fans assume that when Randy shows his face, he's coming right at Kevin Owens. And if he RKO's Cody instead, and then Owens pins him. And remember when Triple H, extended his hand to Owens to help him up, and Owens he could not believe it. And if Orton does the same thing, I mean, Owens, the fans and us and him are going to be like, why is Randy doing this?
All right, I'm going to knock him dead, boss. Can I get the Wi-Fi? I'm going to hang here.
Everyone's running the subway for free. All new spicy footlong. Wait, Subway did what? That's right. They're bringing.
Raw is in Boston next weekend. Maybe Cena shows up, unless he's just waiting. He said 2025, so.
Compassion, connection, healing. At Carrera Treatment Wellness and Spa, we help people seeking freedom from addiction by utilizing evidence-based therapies and proven holistic somatic treatments. Connect with your mind.
I'm getting this very lovely Southern California rehab and therapy center. While you're immersed in luxury, I'm sure it's $10,000 a week to live there. Treatment and Wellness Spa for the low, low price of $15,000 per day.
Will not. One of your eyes is already closed. Oh, what about that one? Oh, yeah, the new one with the guy we like? No, the other one with the subtitle. Or something else.
Here. Take it. Otherwise, you'll be on your phone the whole time.
Something like that, Max, is very likely to happen because if my hope that Owens wins the title is truly not going to happen, he just, kind of turned heel and has got this whole new motivation. He's kind of been reborn. You just beat him clean right there, then where do you go, So if he's going to lose and Cody's going to walk out with the title, maybe do something like Cody low blows him or do a finish in a way that gives Owens a rematch in the future to where, he's not just has to reset again. So if he's going to lose, there better be something helping cause that loss. I just think a clean Cody win, while not impossible and very likely could happen, just wouldn't be as fun to me. Here come the rest of the Pure Smoothie collection. This woman with a "Sonya, I will leave my husband for you" sign in the crowd. Yeah, you got to keep her there, buddy. That poor schmuck. Look at him in the blue jacket there. He doesn't even look like he's fully at home. I wonder what everybody's relationship is behind the scenes. Like, wouldn't it be fun to find out that, like, Dakota Kai and Liv Morgan hate each other behind the scenes? Like, they just don't get along. Because you know that women's locker room only 60% gets along. I would love to know who hates who, who's jealous of who, all that stuff. And in the men, too, but women tend to get a little more juicy with their drama. Nice. Scorpion kick. Put Liv down. Where's Kairi Sane? Don't you got any backup out here, girl? Just kick to Shayna. What's going on with this referee's hair? What mob does he work for? Ooh, big kick. Surprised. Why wasn't Dom out here? Oh, I guess he kind of got beat up earlier, right? Oh, ooh, she missed. Ouch. That actually looked like she might have tweaked her. Oh, Oblivion for the win. Give me my belt. There are some very low energy fans in the front row. They kind of just look like they're there going, like just grunting. There they are. There's Kyrie and Io. In their street clothes. And their hot street clothes. Oh my gosh. Where are they going to go? Oh my. Is this fight? Are these fighting clothes? Oh my gosh. At least they're wearing some shoes and they're not like in heels or nothing, but. Oh, Oblivion. Oh, Oblivion to Io. You know, look at what Liv's doing here. What do I always say? If you do this on the go home, you lose. I mean, maybe the title change that I keep obsessing about isn't Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. It's Rhea Ripley coming out and costing Liv Morgan the title, and Io Sky wins the title. I mean, at this point, with the bad blood between Liv and Rhea, do you need the title? I mean, you kind of do because Liv stole it from her, but you don't need the title for Rhea to still want to kill Liv, you know? How about this? Ripley costs Liv on Saturday. And then it's Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. Hell in a Cell. January 6th. Raw.
While I was back home, this same thought kept going through my head, burning in my brain. What if I'm wrong? What if everyone else was right?
Oh, we need to listen to Drew McIntyre here.
What if my gut was wrong? And I turned on Survivor Series. And I saw Roman Reigns standing side by side.
Side by side with CM Punk.
Who was by their side? Sammy.
Oh, and Sammy.
Jay. With their stupid fingers in the air.
With their stupid fingers.
For everything they know. Roman just snaps his fingers, they put their tail between their legs, they run right by his side. At least CM Punk took a bribe. They all sold out for absolutely.
All right, so Drew verbally feels like he's moving on from CM Punk. He's more pissed at Sammy and Jay for teaming with Roman than Punk, because at least Punk was bribed.
I realize I cannot change the past as much as I want to. I can change the present.
So McIntyre's got a lot of the same issues that Kevin Owens does. He's like, why are you assholes teaming back up with Roman after the hell he put you through for, you know, an entire presidential administration? Like, it's crazy.
Anybody who was lending support to Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Let's give you an update on Jey Uso. The injury update. What we can tell you is that Jey was not medically cleared.
Yeah, well, we said that last week, Nick. Once McIntyre attacked Sammy, I'm like, well, there's your answer about who attacked Jay.
Not been given the green light to compete this week right here in Wichita. Another superstar who has expressed issues with the hero acceptance of Roman Reigns and CM Punk is that guy, Seth Rollins. When we come back, we will hear from Seth freaking Rollins. Don't go anywhere.
Tweeting out my Hell in the Cell idea for that first Netflix Raw.
Any phone in any condition, and get Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus with Circle to Search. And watch and tab, all free on us. Survive the holidays with Samsung, powered by Verizon.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. Because it's
Was Tiffany talking to Pierce? Okay, well, we knew we would see that because we saw a bunch of Raw people on SmackDown on Friday.
this is your reward.
And Tiffany, you know, moving over would be interesting because she's got the briefcase. So, like somebody brought up, she could cash in on Gunther, and that would be awesome.
You've got to see this.
One of 5 immersive worlds in Epic Universe, only at Universal Orlando Resort.
When you order Domino's online, we'll give you free pizza to use in the future. So you'll have an emergency pizza when you need it most. There you go. No matter the reason, when life gives you lemons, Domino's gives you.
Yeah, Max, we could have 2 title changes. I just think, and you got to remember though, we would have 3 because we're also going to have a new United States champion crowned. So that would be a lot of championships changing hands, and I worry that one of them possibly like outshining the other or whatever. You might want all of those, you know, in individual, with their individual moments. I just think if Bayley wins the United States Championship and then Io wins the title and then Kevin Owens beats Cody, what's everybody going to be talking about when the show is over? We're going to be talking about Cody losing the title to Kevin Owens, and Bayley will be the furthest thing from our minds, and possibly even Io Sky as well. So that's why back in 1988, if you remember, you know, I don't think they were going to have both of those titles change. Randy Savage beating Honky Tonk Man like I assumed he would, and then have Hogan lose. That would be wild. I would have had very mixed emotions that night. Because I was very much into that Savage and Honky feud. And I was waiting for Savage to regain the title. And then I realized, oh, they have bigger plans for Savage. But maybe that's too much happening on a 2-hour network show. I don't know.
With Verizon, trade in any phone, any condition. For a limited time, get iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. Get 4 on us, only on Verizon.
We can't pay any of our bills. Having Bailey on the way. She is the victim of the West Side Ripper. But if we make a podcast about this together, we own this story. It's gonna change our lives.
What if Ridge Holland became a New Day member? I would love for Ridge Holland to be in the Rumble, and it be Ridge Holland and Kofi and Xavier in there by themselves, and then Big E comes out. That would be interesting. That'd be a lot of emotions to process at once. Holy shit, Big E is back. We get that Edge in 2020 moment, you know? But then, holy crap, Kofi and Xavier are in there, but so is Ridge. Oh, it's a lot to process. I like when there's a lot to process. Oh, signs of the night. Wade stole my lunch money. That's the best you got? That's a shitty sign, man. These signs are... That one's not bad. Papa, I made it in. Roll Tide. Justice for Big E. These signs are dick. Dirty Dom believes in the Tooth Fairy. Ugh. Amateurs. Amateurs. Can't compete with my generation in signs. None of y'all can. There's no way today's generation can compare to back in the day. No matter how hard they try. Kofi and his eating a hot dog mic hold. Or not Kofi, Xavier. That's when we knew. That's when we should have known, when Kofi said, you know who else we couldn't do this without? All of you, instead of Big E. I mean, I understand this was to get heat, totally, but how do you reference so much Big E's being cleared and broken neck and you're never going to get back in the ring? And how can you just say all of that with there not being a chance that he's going to come back? I'm hoping that he's secretly cleared right now and they're just biding their time and coming out in the Rumble. I think now that Edge is no longer in WWE and he's in AEW, WWE probably wants to recreate that moment, because that might be a top 5 moment all time for me. I liked it that much. So if they can do something like that with Big E, nobody deserves a moment like that more than Big E. But it's crowded at the top right now, too. When Big E comes back, and if he's not, you know, in the title picture, fans are like, oh, they forgot about him or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just a lot. It's crowded at the top. I would love to see him come right back, win the briefcase or something. Can't believe they turned on him, man. Heartbreaking. That was the hardest part to watch. It's like, it's Big E like in disbelief, like almost like begging them not to do that. He wasn't angry. He was heartbroken. I'd rather have him be angry than heartbroken, because it's heartbreaking. What a swerve. Adam Pearce. Who's coming out? Cody. Hey, Cody. Oh, Gunther. Oh, no. Cody should be like, see this, Xavier? See this thing you'll never have?
Since we were kids. Sure you know. You both should be ashamed of yourselves.
Oh, yeah. Cody reading him the riot act. I like it. Did Cody go to high school with Xavier? That's funny.
This Friday, WWE arrives in Power Slap Mobile. Download today. Play with some of your favorite WWE superstars, including Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, and Braun Strowman.
Roman Stone, Big E would get just as big, if not bigger, of a reaction than Edge would. Of course, Big E isn't Edge. They're two different, completely different wrestlers. One's named Edge, one's named Big E. Of course, they're not the same.
A week ago, we heard Seth say he doesn't care what CM Punk had to say. They have business with each other.
Seth, I don't know what the hell is going on with your outfit. All I know is I like it. So Punk had his sit down, so we're not going to get any in-ring confrontation with some very, very ugly-looking fisticuffs. This actually looks like a pretty small arena. It looks like it's just one level, and then up top, it's just some smaller area seating. I'm curious what the capacity is at this place.
Would you just look at that tower of gold that was on the screen? My resume is Seth Rollins.
Undoubtedly, he is one of the best we have ever seen, and this generation may be right there at number one. It's arguable.
Great reception here in Wichita.
Yeah, Honky refused to drop it that night, Juliet, but I think the reason he was also able to get away with that is because of what they had planned for Savage when Hogan dropped the belt. If Vince McMahon was insistent that Savage wins the Intercontinental title, like most of the fans were, Honky would have dropped it. I think it was just a situation that worked out because they didn't really need to win Savage to win back the IC at that point. But months out, that absolutely was the plan.
Wichita, give it up for my man CM Punk, huh? Yeah. Punker. When you're done in the ring, chant his name.
I remember a Raw match between Punk and Rollins and like, when did they debut? 2011? Yeah, so sometime in 2012 they wrestled on Raw. I remember Punk beating him with a GTS. And I remember thinking when Punk left, Rollins would be the guy to fill the void. I said that on this channel. Just get himself a Pepsi tattoo. I think Punk or Rollins would be a great replacement to fill the Punk void. And he did okay, but he doesn't have whatever that is that Punk has, you know? Athletically, I think he's superior, but everything else he's not. They both got smoking hot wives. I might be slightly more of a Becky guy than an AJ guy, but not by much. It seems like a lot of people have this story about CM Punk. CM Punk and I were friends. But then, Punk got mad like he always does.
Why does Seth Rollins hate CM Punk so much? But the part of CM Punk's story that he left out.
It's Punk's own unhappiness that ruins his relationships. And like when Punk is creatively unhappy where he works, it becomes everybody's problem
I called him. I texted him because I was
instead of just his problem.
because I respected him and what he stood for. And what did I get back from Punk? Nothing. I got ghosted by CM Punk. And it wasn't just me. It was every single person who was friends with Punk that worked for this company. Because if you didn't quit your dream job and your priorities didn't line up with Team CM Punk, then you were evil, man.
There's a lot of truth to what Seth's saying here. You know, Punk does feel that way.
And if the story ended there, okay.
He had every right to walk out and quit and be pissed, of course, but he shouldn't expect everybody else to do that either, you know,
Company down.
and then put them down in interviews, you know.
He did. He talked as much crap as he could. He took any pot shot he could. And you know when he finally walked back in here? You know why? Because he failed at everything else. He burned every single bridge that would lead him to water. And the money was right. So yeah, guys.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Shawn Michaels' promo on Bret Hart right after WrestleMania 13. Like the night after WrestleMania 13, Bret cut his long promo. It was like 30 minutes long, really good. Then the next week, Shawn cut his.
Once upon a time, I used to chant his name too. I used to respect CM Punk too. I wanted to be just like CM Punk. I wanted to follow in his footsteps. But somewhere along the way, I realized that he was a fraud, and I wanted to be better than CM Punk. And I was. Everything CM Punk did in this ring, I did it twice. And I did the one thing that he could never do, and that's main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, and Rollins did that. Oh, here comes Sammy.
So here comes the guy that was separating Seth from CM Punk a week ago.
Impeccable timing as always, Mr. Zayn. Just
I don't know if, I mean, if is McIntyre's business done for the night? Was that pre-tape all we're going to get from Drew, or does he come out here and start passing out claymores?
Sami Zayn shows.
Y'all want one?
Don't forget that Sami Zayn last week accused Seth freaking Rollins of being the one to drop Jey Uso.
Yeah, we found out that.
That was completely wrong. Sami
Okay, so max attendance for this thing can be about 16,000. Okay, it's bigger than it looks. It looks smaller.
Claymore might have surprised me.
I like smaller buildings.
On Jey Uso earlier tonight.
Sami Zayn looking a little sheepish this week.
If you are out here to defend CM Punk again, then we're going to be fighting again. I don't want to hear it. I ain't got time for it.
I ain't got time for it. I'm wearing a frilly little green feathery outfit, and I'm not going to have time for it.
I was angry. I said some things. We've been fought in the middle of this ring, okay? And I guess that's bound to happen every now and again when you've known each other as long as we've known each other. But it was
A lot of today's top talent all came up together, you know?
to assume that you were the one that dropped Jey Uso backstage, okay? I've known you longer than that. I was wrong about that, and for that, I'm sorry.
I mean, Balor, Owens, Sammy, Seth, they've all put 10 plus years in. Sammy, I think, is on his 10th year, right?
You know what, Sam?
Maybe more, maybe 11.
Brought that up, man. I really am. Because the thing that's been eating me up inside over the last week, as far back as we go, you and me, we've been friends for 20 years. Our kids play together, man. We're like this, all right? But when Jay went down, I was the first person that came to your mind, dude. I was the first person that came to your mind. I want to know why. Why? Why? Hey, there was a reason, Seth, okay? Because the way you were talking last week, you were out of your mind.
One thing I like about what's happening,
Yeah, go
is that
You were out of your mind. You weren't
Roman,
you weren't the Seth Rollins that I've known almost 20 years. You were talking like someone
everything that surrounds him stretches into like 4 different feuds, you know, and that's cool.
that blames everybody else for their actions and acts like they're the only person with any sort of moral clarity around here. You sounded less like Seth Rollins and more like Drew McIntyre.
Like Rollins, Owens, and McIntyre. They're the biggest opposers right now of anyone who wants to talk to Roman.
You're a better person than him, but this thing with CM Punk and you, it brings out the worst.
I mean, you got Punk and Drew and Rollins and Owens and Cody and Sammy and Roman all intertwined in their own various shit, you know, and the Bloodline and Jay.
That's why I'm out here, okay? I'm here to tell you that this thing with you and CM Punk, it's clearly worse than I ever thought possible. So from here on out, however you want to deal with it, it's your business. You deal with it however you want to, all right? Thank you.
Rollins is like, thank you. That's all I wanted.
I appreciate that. Okay. So what about us? Are we good?
I mean, this is a top of the hour segment here, so I feel like McIntyre or somebody's gonna come in. Oh no, Sammy, is he gonna turn or something?
Yeah, Sammy, we're good, man. And I appreciate you letting me handle my business with Punk. It seems like you got some business with Drew that you need to handle.
Well, McIntyre must be here.
I'll give that apology a 3 out of 10, but it seems to have got the job done for now at least. Ooh, that was close to going off the rails there.
You know what? That's actually pretty good advice. And I am going to handle this business with Drew. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. This thing with Drew, I'm not going to run it back like I've done with him before. I'm not going to sit here and listen to him come out week after week and talk about how everybody else is wrong and how he's right and how he's a martyr. I'm going to end this as quickly as it started. Here's how I'm dealing with this. I have already spoken to Adam Pearce.
Oh, good.
Saturday night's main event.
Oh,
Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Drew, I will see you Saturday.
Oh, I love that, Wade. Wow, I love that. Stacked card.
5 matches on this 2-hour NBC show.
Wade, it's gotten even bigger just in
They have 5 matches on. There was 5 matches on Survivor Series, and it was 4 hours.
announced earlier. Our World Heavyweight Championship is a triple threat as well. It's Damian Priest, Gunther, and Finn Balor. And now you hear Sammy say, I talked to the GM. Sammy threw Anita Saturday night main event live on NBC. What a stacked and loaded card, Wade.
That's crazy.
Jesse the Body Ventura makes
I mean, maybe the McIntyre. Oh, there he is. There's McIntyre right there. Maybe McIntyre and Seth or Sammy's a squash.
Right into attack. Sammy.
careful what you wish for, Sammy. So expect the unexpected. Officials getting out here to try and separate this Scottish psychopath from
The Scottish psychopath. McIntyre, how's your back from that missed claymore on the steps? Little sore?
WWE is taking you back, all the way back, with the return of the iconic Saturday night main event.
What would be crazy is if they brought Hogan in for that too, and you got Hogan and Jesse. When was the last time they came face to face with each other? I think it's been 30 plus years, 35 years or something. I don't think Hogan and Jesse saw each other after like 1990. Like, that's crazy.
DQ cheeseburger lovers deal. 2 singles for $5 or 2 doubles for $7 for a limited time. So, how is it? Feel this good speaks for itself, I guess. DQ, happy tastes good.
Yeah, 14-10 on the battle of two shitty teams. 4-8 Bengals and 5-7 Cowboys. The Bengals and Cowboys combined have won 3 less games than the Lions.
This Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth
Lions
Tear
pride.
has wavy edges. It's no ordinary square. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has wavy.
I'm not used to having to care about football. And I'm not used to the possibility of being disappointed in the playoffs. Every year I get to watch the playoffs with no stress because my team's never in it. So I can just enjoy. Usually don't have any dog in any fight. Just watch the playoffs and watch the Super Bowl for enjoyment and entertainment. And I don't stress myself out over who wins. And now I have to care. And I kind of don't want to care. I just hope the Lions win, so I don't have to worry about it.
ESPN Plus content is now on Disney Plus.
Looking forward to being on the same team with you.
Can you imagine the fun? The Blues Heroes.
Hogan and Jesse's beef goes back a long way. Hogan ratted Jesse out when Jesse was attempting to unionize. And a lot of people don't think he would have been successful in it anyway, but the fact that Hogan kind of went and gave everybody a heads up what was going on, and Vince was able to cock block it. And then years later, during the steroid trial deposition, I think Jesse found out that it was Hogan who was the one that did it. And they were friends in the 80s. They were in the AWA together, and I know they had a relationship and stuff. But Hogan made it to the big time, and Jesse had to leave the ring early. They both were big built, wrestlers built from California who kind of modeled their personas after superstar Billy Graham. And it's Rock and Austin. It's professional rivalry and, probably a little bit of jealousy, especially from Jesse's end when he saw Hogan making it such big heights. But I think at the end of the day, Jesse was always, cool with everything. It was just that betrayal, I think, that kind of ended their relationship. And if you remember, when Hogan signed with WCW, Jesse was gone. It was like the two happened almost simultaneously, it felt like.
Tomorrow, after deadline, we're all now looking at the Iron Survivor. NXT goes even harder. Look, one day, you'll be just
I don't know anything about those Iron Survivor matches. I don't know what the rules are. Is it kind of like a gauntlet type of thing, or?
as Liz Lee and Devon Evans go head to head.
But I think Julia won the one. I don't know who won the other one.
Only on the CW. Joe and Wade back with you on Monday Night Raw in Wichita.
Joshua, Greg, when was the last time you got a haircut? This morning. Shaved my bush. I had a lot. I had buckwheat and a leg lock down there. I had a lot going on, so I had to change batteries and, because they ran out. But eventually, I got it all. All right, so this is, what the hell? Oh, Lyra and Zelina and Ivy Nile. Let's see, who's going to win this? Probably Lyra. Probably Lyra will win this. And then Natalya, I'm expecting to win this whole thing. She better. So maybe if they don't want Natalya and Lyra to face, then Lyra loses here. But assuming Natalya wins, and I'm going to be extremely disappointed if it's anybody else other than Natalya. She just makes the most sense. All these girls can win it after the fact, but Natalya needs to be the first one. Lyra, with all these belts, every single woman on the roster is going to be a champion. So whoever doesn't win here, like Lyra, will win eventually. I'm not a fan of all these belts in the women's division. I think it's too many. I think they need to drop 2 singles belts, have 2 singles belts, and a tag. That's really all you need.
Monday Night Raw is brought to you by Monopoly Go, where money talks.
And we've talked about it before, like the percent, you guys can look it up. I don't know how many women are on the Raw and SmackDown rosters currently, but if you take that amount of women and divide it by 6, which is how many women's championship belts now exist in the company, that's going to be your percentage of how many women are going to hold championships. And back in the Divas title era, it felt like they just gave the belt to everybody. Everybody. Kelly. The other ones, the other models. I mean, everybody who was in the company got the Divas title. It just didn't matter. Eventually, it was just going to be your turn, And the women's division has made so many better improvements since then that all these championships now make me feel like it's going to go back to that. Like, eventually, it'll be your turn. Zelina Vega, they'll just give her the U.S. title, because she's been there, put her time in, and here you go. And so it devalues them because Maxine will win the IC title in an upset one week, She'll hold it for 3 weeks and then drop it, I think I would be okay with the IC and the women or the women's IC and the women's US if they dropped one of the world titles. Then it would make more sense. That way you have one queen at the top, not 2, 1. And then everybody else is contenders. And that in itself would elevate the importance of the US and IC. But they're not going to do that. They've got everything uniform. They got the 2 WWE, the 2 world, the IC for the men, the US for the IC for the men and the women, the US for the men and the women. Victor, tonight's Raw's been okay. Maybe not quite as good as last week's because of the swerves and whatnot, but hasn't been horrible. Raw's a pretty easy watch right now when it's 2 hours. These animations are crazy. Mufasa the Lion King. I still have not seen the Disney animated Lion King, the one that came out in the 90s. Never saw it. All I know is it's like kind of sad, so I won't watch it. I don't want to watch the little baby lion's dad die or whatever. I don't want to watch that. I remember seeing like Bambi in the movies when I was like 4 or something. And like being sad. And I don't remember anything about Bambi. I just know that my mom took me to see it. Must have been playing, because it's older, I think, than when I was a kid. But I think it must have just been playing locally or something, and she took me to see it. And I remember being sad about the dying deer and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to feel that. San Diego. January 17th, I'm getting an advertisement for SmackDown. January 17th here in San Diego. Oh, dear. Joshua, no, I will not watch Mufasa or Sonic 3 because I never saw The Lion King and I never saw Sonic 1 or 2. And the only Sonic I played was the first Sonic on Sega Genesis. Oh, hey, what's up, Yachiro? Didn't see ya. How you doing? Okay, we come back and Lyra's doing like jumping jacks in the ring. I like Lyra a lot. I don't like her name or her kind of like I don't know if you'd call it a gimmick, but that bird shit, or whatever. I just wish sometimes some of these NXT names, man, they're just infuriating. I'm like, why can't anybody just have a little bit somewhat of a normal name? Like, how can you have a name like Kevin Owens, which is so simple, and also a name like Lyra Valkyria? Jesus Christ. Ugh, this is very sloppy and ugly. We're going to bridge out of this? Nope. Oh, they're going to roll over there. This is one of the worst women's matches I've ever seen, I'm not going to lie, so far. They better get it together here. I think that was a swanton onto something there. None of this is looking good. Y'all need to regroup. Okay, there's Ivy Niles going outside the ring. Good for her. That was a sliding sunset bomb onto the floor. Wasn't bad, but wasn't good. Meteora. Wonky. I mean, these are three legitimately the shortest women on the roster, too. Is that going to be it? Nope. I don't think any of them are over 5 feet. I think 5 feet is the max here we're looking at. Man, I'm so glad they added those blue additions to the belt. I still hate that belt, but it looks a lot better than it did. Double German. Arching bridging. They're struggling on these bridges, and which is weird because Ivy Nile and Lyra are both so strong. Is Lyra busted open, or is that her lipstick? You don't get names like Dick the Bruiser anymore. We could use one. We're overdue. I think the world could use another name like Dick the Bruiser, and the world could use another hit from Tracy Chapman. It's been a while. Yes, Lyra, of course. All right, it's going to have to be Lyra and Natty then. And they better not have Lyra go over. And Lyra, in the next year or two, girl, because I think you're really good, I'm going to need you to just really do something else with your gimmick, because I don't know why you think you're a bird. If you want to be something like a crow, then be like Sting. Paint your face, be badass or something. Just do something that's not what you're currently doing. You got way too many feathers. I don't get it. You're an athlete. You're good. I think they should have given you a better gimmick or name or everything. Because see, look, she wants to fly. She's doing, oh, whoa. She's trying to get that over, and it ain't working. I don't see one fan in the audience doing it with her. Ugh. Some things are just cringe. No other way to describe them. Rhea Ripley, my God. What's up, Rip? Is it cool if I call you Rip? Anything. Oh, I didn't know this match was even happening tonight. Rhea Ripley and Raquel, anything goes match. Anything goes. Put Bird Lady over immediately. Actually, what did I watch that movie? There's a movie called that. Me and Elizabeth watched it like a couple months ago. Bird Lady or something. Or Lady Bird. Lady Bird. Yeah, it was pretty good. Know what else we watched last week was Tour de Pharmacy. I had never even heard of it. I didn't even know what the fuck that was. It was crazy. I was like, that must have been where they got the Southpaw wrestling idea, because a lot of that had the same like energy.
I watch golf for the merciless trash talk. You suck.
I'm here for the glory, even though I contributed nothing. I watch sports because family pressure.
I watch for shallow fashion-related reasons.
I'm just here for the cheese.
I watch golf for the trash talk. I love these old men. My old grandpa, he did not like Tiger Woods. And I'll just let you try to think about why you think that might have been. And it's the reason you think. I was like, I'm so glad I didn't grow up in that generation, you know, and I had these horrible thoughts.
Yeah, progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Why is America accepting to wait for payday? When life doesn't wait for you to get paid.
Maybe she rises like a phoenix. She could.
A revolutionary new way of getting your pay when you want. Get up to $500 of your pay before payday. No interest.
I don't know what to make of any of the new Ray Phoenix stuff. All I know is when he is contractually able to go somewhere, or better yet, talk about what has happened. That's what I'll be looking forward to, unless there's some sort of an early release in which you could have an NDA signed. Otherwise, if he is going to be forced to stay there for the remainder of his deal, that means he's going to have to, he won't have to sign any such NDA. And could go on a podcast and spill it. So we'll see. Another juicy, dramatic situation in wrestling. I still think if they just would have been cool about the whole thing and not ran their mouth at all, they might have been able to get out, you know. Penta's contract's up and, you know, Tony Khan knows he's going to lose him, just let him go. But, you know, if you start running your mouth and, you know, talking shit, you know, then maybe that causes bad feelings or something. I don't know. Either way, it's always frustrating when a talent wants to go and they can't go. I get really annoyed with that because I feel like wrestlers are young and you have a window of time to make your money. And so when you're being, you know, essentially held hostage or just spinning your wheels, letting the days go by, I think that can be really unfair. And I think if Tony Khan or Triple H have somebody that doesn't want to be there, let them go so they can continue their life, you know. But at the end of the day, this is not like some catastrophic thing. It's not like he's got 4 years left. He's going to have to sit out 8 months, which sucks, don't get me wrong, but is manageable. You know, his career isn't going to be over, you know, by this year. Just make the best of his time, do whatever he can do. And then maybe, you know, if he agrees to sign some, you know, fucking gag order, he can be let out early and him and Penta can go to WWE and then all is right with the world. But I think fans, because right now we're dealing with like 56% of the wrestling fan population has Tony Khan obsession code written into their DNA now. It's just part of who they are. Nobody is speaking on this with anything other than extremely angry, divisive, black and white. It's this and blah, 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 you know, because they're predisposed for this hate. They follow what everybody else does online. And so they can't really formulate really objective opinions in my mind because they're already pissed. They're going into this situation already with the notion in their head that Tony Khan is the devil. So how can you trust somebody's opinion? You know? I don't blame Ray at all for being pissed. I'd be pissed too. You know, but then again, if you look at the whole story, yeah, maybe you can kind of understand why some time might have gotten added to his deal. Either way, it probably wasn't handled right. And at the end of the day, Ray Phoenix deserves to be let go. And I wish they would, so we can put it behind us.
What was the intention behind publicly berating your friend, Big E?
You're supposed to be a neutral party. Why would you ask the question like that? You know what, Kathy? Clearly, this is not going to be an
Are they coming to the ring? What are they doing?
So we're going to go talk to the people.
Okay, thank you. I was about to say, I don't want the follow-up appearance to be a backstage with Kathy.
I don't care if you're John Cena's little friend. Give me the damn camera.
Camera? Why do you guys want the camera? You're John Cena's friend. Shout out to Kathy Kelly, by the way. It's not that I didn't want to see her. It's just after the swerve and the heel turn last week with the New Day. I did not want us to have their only appearance tonight be a backstage. Woods has camera 6. Oh, Woods is carrying it. Look at there. He's good at it, too. He's even got the guys with the wires following him. Our director, Marty Miller. Shout out to Marty Miller. Go fuck yourself, Kevin Dunn. So glad you're not there anymore. I hope you're banging your shins on furniture, too, wherever you are. Kansas is very white. Huh. I love the camera. I love the camera is just going to be shooting the fans the whole time. If I was a woman, I'd like pull a titty out or something. Yeah. You deserve to hear these boos. I don't know if they're going to get Dominic heat. I'm not sure if they achieved that. Over one day? I love it. You should let Xavier do the talking here, because he was the one that was more on this heel side already. I think some fans might still find it a little hard to not cheer for Kofi, because we love Kofi. Something I didn't think about till now. Xavier is good with a camera, isn't he? What are they chanting? I can't hear. What are they saying? We didn't even do anything. Yeah, we know. Most defendants in a courtroom didn't do anything either. But yet the jails are full. Okay. Okay, now I can hear Big E. I think it was a combination of like Big E and New Day sucks or something. I don't know what it was. Big E's the best. We love Big E. You guys suck. That would be great if Big E, if and when he, I mean, if they're going to use this to kind of build up his return, and if they do this until the Rumble and then he comes out, I'm telling you, it's going to be tears of joy. They just threw the mics down and left and the fans cheered. That's great. That's actually brilliant. We didn't do anything. What's the problem? What's the problem? I love that. I mean, they might as well put that on a shirt. We didn't do anything because they keep repeating it. Yeah, getting the heels to throw down the mic and walk away because they can't take the fan heat is good. I mean, it was planned. They were banking on the fans being a little perturbed, and they were. Kansas let them know. Tony Khan should let anyone go who doesn't want to be there. You don't want to go? Bye. Same with Triple H. You don't want to go? Bye. Go to them. Triple H's like, fine, go to the Pissant Company. And then Tony Khan would be like, fine, go to the Fed. Like, don't want to be there, go wherever you want to go. But unfortunately, in this business, there are contracts. And when there are contracts, you know, there's really no bad guy because you sign them. So you have to live up to the conditions of that contract. And one of the conditions in the contract that Ray Phoenix signed is that if he gets hurt, they can tack on time. And that's what they did. So even though I don't agree with Triple H or Tony Khan doing that, they got every right. Here comes Ripley, Rippers, and Raquel. All right, you recover from that orbital bone pretty quick. Undertaker had to wear a mask forever. You just wore a mask, Beast Mordos mask at Survivor Series. Undertaker had that damn thing on for months. Ripley is so hot. Anything goes. I'm not really a fan of like the dark makeup and dark lipstick look, but it works for her. That's generally not my type, but Ripley is just too awesome. Ripley, I'll give you a pat. I don't like it when you guys sing your entrance song. I really hate it. It's dumb. But I'm such a big fan of you. You do whatever you want, girl. Whatever. Knock yourself out. Sing the whole damn thing. Yeah, Ryan Adams, you could be right. If Raquel wins this, maybe with help from Liv Morgan, then maybe my idea comes true for Saturday. And maybe Ripley costs Liv the title. And then you get Liv and Ripley Hell in the Cell on Raw. I still don't know how they're going to do 5 matches on Saturday night's main event. I don't know how they're going to squeeze all that in. It's a lot. They got to squeeze in a lot. Shout out to our friend Santi Zap, who's popped into our chat before. He's got a funny picture on Twitter. That crazy guy is Eric Andrade or something like that. He's got like he kind of looks like Carlito, sort of. He's got a picture of him shooting somebody. And then underneath it says, "What did we do?" And that's the absurdity of that. I kind of like that they're like, what did we do? I just think they're overplaying a little bit because you just need to say, what did we do a couple of times? Repeating it over and over makes it more silly, to me. But it's literally like, what do you mean? What did you do? You were there. It was only a week ago. How'd you forget? You can watch Raw, the archives on Peacock until they move to Netflix. So it's easy to know why people are pissed. And so saying, what did we do is just dumb. That's why I think like saying it just a couple of times is all you needed to do. I mean, too, another thing you have to think about, too, you know what this means, is if we're right about our suspicions that there's a pretty good chance Big E's going to be back in the ring one day. It just feels like, why would they do all this, And if that's the case, of course, he's going to come get him some of Kofi and Xavier and everything. But that also means that one day, whenever that may be, we will get the reunion. And we never really got that with the Shield. I think we'll get it with New Day. And it would be really cool if, maybe they rode off into the sunset together. I really can't see all 3 men retiring at the same time. That would be weird, but I'm hoping we do get like a final moment. But at the same time, these guys are all like young, even when they retire. I can imagine, you know how we see like, who do we see now? Austin coming back every now and then, even though he wrestled a WrestleMania match a couple years ago. But like, you know, Austin, Taker, Shawn, Triple H, guys like that who we now see on reunion shows or WrestleMania weekends. New Day are going to be those guys. When they're all out of the ring, we're going to see Kofi, Xavier, and Big E in a WWE ring in their 60s, for sure, on wherever we're watching Raw in 20 years. But they definitely will be. They'll all be old and retired and everything. Maybe one of them still works a little bit on the independents or something, or they've all taken behind-the-scenes jobs, and they're all there. You know, kind of how you bring out the Dudleys every now and then. You know, the New Day will have some reunions, provided they all stay alive, and I think they all will. They're all healthy, and none of them are on drugs or anything, so barring some tragedy, they should all be with us and live long, healthy lives.
USA is the new home of Friday Night SmackDown. It all goes down on Friday Night SmackDown on USA.
Friday night, I still can't believe there's a show called SmackDown.
What a scene here in Wichita, Kansas for Monday Night Raw and our highly anticipated main event. Wade, it's an anything goes match. Rhea Ripley against Raquel Rodriguez.
Here she comes. Look out, Raquel. You have no time to do your silly little entrance. It's time to fight. I remember their matches in NXT. I was a big fan of Raquel there. She's kind of dropped off for me since, but Rhea lived up to what I thought, and I loved her in NXT too. Rhea, I was like, oh, this girl, she's it. And she turned out to be it, but Raquel did not so much. Did y'all see that picture today of Brock Lesnar and Sable? I have not seen Sable photographed in any way since she was in the company last, like in 2003. So it's probably been, oh, wow. It's probably been 20 years since I've seen Sable at all. All those years Brock was in WWE, came back, and I never saw any pictures of her backstage or anything like that. So it's the first time I've ever seen. She looks much different now. But I was wondering what she looked like these days. I'm glad to see that. I guess I'm glad. I don't know if I'm glad. I guess I'm glad to see that their marriage is still intact after Brock had received some suspicious text messages. Oh, nice missile dropkick by Rhea. Yeah, Ripley. I mean, this match, it wasn't 40 seconds into this match. We had 19 kendo sticks and 47, I think I count, chairs. And a trash can. And a partridge in a pear tree. Also, I love this match as the main event. A lot of women's wrestling tonight. What is a Sable? I think it's a town car, actually. Or is that a LeSabre? I always liked the way Jackie would say, "Hey, Sable." Everybody said Sable funny. Luna had a funny Sable. She goes, "Sable," and then Jackie would go, "Hey, Sable." I remember when they were feuding, I would say that all the time. I like, "Hey, Sable." I don't know why I find certain things funny, but I did. I found Jackie's "Hey, Sable" really funny, and I like Luna's too.
pizza when you need it most. There you go.
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers retire and take roles as commentators, but not that many wrestlers. There's not that many commentator roles open. There are a lot more agent roles open, and that's usually the place where retired wrestlers go, into being an agent or a producer or something like that backstage. And then occasionally one of them gets an opportunity to be on commentary, but they can't all do it. My parents, these schmucks, they're out there living it up in Hawaii right now. They just sent me a picture. Yeah, that's very nice, you guys, you bastards. It's the same restaurant that I go to with them when I'm out there. See, I only go like once every other year. They go like 4 times per year.
Like iPhone 12 and Apple Watches. At Metro Kit, iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch 15. Both are only $99.99. Only at Metro. She is the victim of the West Side Ripper. We make a podcast about this. We could bring him in on it. Bring the killer in on what? The podcast. We forced him into it. No one ever went broke betting on America's obsession with work. We are in too deep.
We're gonna have the baby in jail.
Attacks continue between Raquel and Rhea Ripley. Anything goes, and that has been the case as moments ago we saw Raquel Rodriguez beating down Rhea Ripley with a kendo stick. And the double kick has both of these women laid out.
Southern Mike work came out. I need to go live 20 years in Europe so I can pick up that. That way I can do everything. Reprisals. Nice. I don't know what that's called when you do basically like a power bomb, but then you fall backwards and do a snake eyes on the top turnbuckle. If you went into the ropes, I think that's a stun gun. Austin used to use that in WCW, but I don't know what it's called going into the turnbuckle pad. Looks like Ripley might be cut. Here comes Morgan. We knew she'd be here with her belt. Do you need the belt, though? Do you need the belt? Do you need to bring the belt? Why would you bring the belt? Why would you bring the belt? Why would you bring the belt? That makes no sense. Just Dom's right there. Like, babe, hold this. I'm going to go do a run-in. Stupid. Make it make more sense, please. Wow. That's a bump. That would just be rough, man. Just taking back bumps on chairs. I don't exactly know how they gimmick the chairs. They're just, I'm guessing they're just more lightweight because the way Raquel kicked that chair, those things aren't that light. You try to kick one, you're going to hurt your foot. It's not going to move that freely. I remember the old white chair from the house shows. I saw it appeared more than once. Oblivion, where I saw wrestlers at house shows. You in a chair shot, they went and grabbed this one specific white chair and used it in like several matches. No, there's Io Sky. I'm glad that this is anything goes because Yeah, not. Oh, jeez. Oh, Raquel almost won the match there with a minute to spare. That was an awesome dive. That was a Darby Allin-like dive by Io Sky there. These women are tearing it up in the main event. Very happy. Nope. Is Ripley going to rip tighter? Oh. Yeah, Ripley's going to beat her here. Ripley's not going to lose. Riptide through the table. Oh. Got it. Good job, Ripley. That was a good match. Cue the 13 and 19-year-olds who are going to be upset with Rhea's booking on social media. She's booked too strong. We don't understand that. We have no concept of what that's like. Because we've been watching shit for our whole childhood. Oh, look at there. Oh, I like it. There's your Royal Rumble match. Ripley cost Io the title, or cost Morgan the title on Saturday night's main event. Io Sky wins. Then we get Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley Hell in the Cell match on the January 6th Raw. Then at the Royal Rumble, we get Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley wins the title and then takes it into WrestleMania to, I don't know, lose it to Becky or something. I don't know what the fuck. There's a lot to think about with WrestleMania. All right, so that was a good episode tonight. I thought that was pretty good. And Saturday night's main event has gotten even more stacked. It was already pretty stacked. And now they've added a fifth match. I don't know how they're going to pull all this off. There's going to have to be a squash in there somewhere or a quick match or something. Not sure, but I don't know how they're going to get all that in. I just don't, but it should be fun finding out. We'll be here Saturday to watch that together. That might be the next time you see me. It is going to be the next time you see me live, but content will hit the channel this week. I put a reaction short up last night of Armageddon. I've got another couple in the can that I can drop on you, and we might be here talking about something this week. It just depends. So thank you so much for being here tonight, as always, and I will be talking to y'all real soon. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Peace.